Chapter 6, The Truth About Mr. Docker. Mrs. Lilly was really proud of us for the scoop we got from Miss LaGrange. "Great work, you two," she said. "Now go out there and get us another story like that." "Will do, Chief," said Andrea. We slinked down the hall like secret agents again. After a few minutes, we got tired of slinking. But we bumped into Mr. Docker, our science teacher, and he was coming out of the bathroom. "We're doing interviews for the school paper," Andrea said. "Could you tell us something about yourself that nobody knows?" Said Mr. Docker. "Let me think. Like maybe you have 2 wives or you saw Elvis in a soup bowl," I suggested. "No, nothing like that. I guess I lead a pretty dull life. It's just work, work, work all the time." It didn't seem like we were getting anywhere with Mr. Docker. He was boring. "What do you do when you're not working?" asked Andrea. "Well, my wife and I like to exercise together. We go running every Saturday. I even won a race last week." "Really?" said Andrea. "That's exciting," writing everything down in her pad. "Did your wife run in the race too?" I asked. "Oh, yes," said Mr. Docker. "She did very well. She came in 3rd. "We need to make sure we have all the facts right," I said. "So you ran in a race over the weekend. You came in 1st, and your wife came in 3rd. Is that right?" "Yes. We even got free t-shirts," said Mr. Docker. "Great. Thanks for giving us the interview." So Mr. Docker went to the science room, and Andrea and I rushed back to our classroom. "Isn't it exciting that Mr. Docker won a race over the weekend, Arlo?" Andrea asked. "This is going to make a great article for the paper." No, it won't," I said. "That story's boring. I have a better one to write." When we got to our classroom, Mrs. Lilly was at the computer working on the Century. I told her we had another big scoop, and she said it would be okay if I typed the headline on the computer by myself. So I typed this: "Mr. Docker beats his wife." "You can't write that, Arlo," said Andrea. "That's a horrible thing to say. Mr. Docker does not beat his wife." "He does too. They were in a race. He won. She came in 3rd, so he beat her. It's right there in your notes." "Mrs. Lilly, what do you think?" asked Andrea. Andrea looked at Mrs. Lilly. Mrs. Lilly looked at me. I looked at Mrs. Lilly. Mrs. Lilly looked at Andrea. We were all looking at each other. You could have heard a pin drop if any of us had been holding pins. But why would anybody bring pins to school? Because that's just weird. "This is front page news," said Mrs. Lilly. "Great job, AJ. You are a natural." "Well, thank you," I said. I looked at Andrea, and I stuck my tongue out. Blech. Chapter 7, Andrea Goes Crazy. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.